There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you, coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for a Sunday, May the 18th. We're getting ready for a couple of Game 7s today. We'll preview NBA, NHL Game 7s, Denver and Oklahoma City, as well as Florida and Toronto on the ice. And we've got Major League Baseball as well, and a full day of sports betting action. Hopefully everything's okay with you here on this Sunday morning. We're already underway in some great action, including Formula One, just underway here at the top of the hour. And early on here, you got Max on top, the Astri there as well, but should be a good couple of hours of Formula One, hour and a half of Formula One today while we're on the air, as well as coming up a little later on, tennis final here. Also in action here as we got Sinner going up against Alcaraz. Sinner just $1.50 favorite over Carlos today. Should be a great match there as well. So thank you for joining me here on the show as we get ready for our sports betting day and who is going to win on the clay in Rome with the men today. All right, thanks for coming in here. We'll get the show started just a moment, recap some of the action there, but I hope you were able to join us yesterday evening for our coverage of UFC Fight Night from Las Vegas. I thought we had a pretty fun and exciting card with the boys. We stayed on late to get that NHL final in there as well, but I had a pretty fun day there with the guys, and I had some winners as well. There are just 3 losers on my card yesterday, but we had winners as well, including the main event with Michael Morales. I did call for a knockout in that one. I don't know if we saw it coming there in the first round. Maybe we did in a mismatch that basically was a $5 or $6 favorite. The money actually came in on the dog, but it was a one-sided contest as Gilbert Burns is probably washed, at least up against good fighters like this young star Morales yesterday with that knockout. We did have the one cancellation, which was a bummer, but I did have Yusuf there, and we did have Costa as well. We had Green there. We had Gordon there as probably our top play yesterday. Del Valle gets it done. We had Santos. We had Gomez. So I came through with some winners there. The guys did too. So we had our companion coverage yesterday here on the Sports Money Network. We'll roll it again back here in a couple of weeks in the UFC. All right. Appreciate people joining me here in the chat. Let me say hello to some folks here as we get ready to roll on a Sunday. Paul Romero, our new subscriber here. First off, thank you, Paul, for being here. He was happy with me yesterday. He says, I went 11-3-1, says Paul, and Twisted. I'm glad somebody's counting. They said you got to keep records, but who has time for records? I'm glad you guys Noted some of my winners here yesterday in the major leagues. Felt like a pretty good day of action there. Rolled some of my premiums as well here yesterday. But let's take a look at some of the action in Major League Baseball here for yesterday, including winners here. I didn't start well, I know that, but we did have the Washington Nationals there over Baltimore with that win on the road. Also, we had the total there in Miami and Tampa Bay going under there yesterday in a 4-0 win. Also had Tampa as a premium pick winner. Also, a winner there with the Cincinnati Reds winning at home against Cleveland. We had the winner as a premium pick. We had the under here on the show. Also, I had Male in Texas, a winner over Houston yesterday on the show. And we had St. Louis there with Nicholas on the road against Cameron. Cameron pitched good again. This youngster looks pretty good. And we did have the winner on the show was actually St. Louis there yesterday as our winner here on the show. We had the under with Minnesota and Milwaukee. Another win for the Twins. They keep rolling. Now 14, what is it, 14, I'm having trouble keeping track. There's so many wins right now for Minnesota. Also winner with the over, Atlanta and Boston yesterday. Pretty easy over. We had the winner on the show as well with the Seattle Mariners on the run line against my Padres. We had a premium pick on the under in that game and the 4-1 win for Seattle. Also, I had the winner with the Giants. Hey, we laid some chalk. It's okay. We won the games. And we did have the Angels last night, yesterday, with Anderson on the mound. It didn't matter with pitching, though. The hitting 20 runs in that game, and we had a premium pick winner on the over. So pretty good job for us yesterday and you guys as well in the chat. So I guess the big story, though, for yesterday's coverage, other than a great record for me, was the Dallas Stars. And they advanced to the Western Conference Finals to take on the Edmonton Oilers with their win over Winnipeg. A thriller in overtime. Didn't last too long in overtime with that power play. And, man, triumph and heartbreak for Scheifele of Winnipeg. Man, he scored the first goal of the game. You know the story by now. His dad passing away overnight, still plays in the game, scores the first goal of the game, about break tears to your eyes, and then gets the penalty late in the game. Not his fault, right? Or maybe part of the team giving up the breakaway, and he has to go for the desperation stick poke there, trying to get at the puck, but had his arm between the Dallas players' legs there, just trying to get the puck, ends up tripping him up and causing a penalty that carries over into overtime, and he's in the penalty box, almost ready to get out, but the winning goal scores for Dallas yesterday, so they advance there in the Western Conference semifinals with the win. Scheifele obviously had that goal, and it was tough to watch him go through the sportsmanship line there at the end of the game and getting his consolatory greetings from the winning Dallas Stars. So we saw the best and the worst, a little bit of sports there, but Dallas advances to take on Edmonton in the Western Conference here over the weekend, over the next week. But quite a scene there last night. All right, say hello to a few more folks here now, and see. Thank you, Twisted. Thank you, Paul, for the comments there. Futon is here as well, so ready to go with our coverage here today. And Old E is here today as well. Nicholas Handy here. Right? Brandon Hyde, I think a lot of people agree he's probably going to land another job, probably in the major leagues. I don't think we've heard the last of Brandon Hyde just with Baltimore. Maybe we've heard the last of Baltimore there. Dodgers struggling here. maybe Alcaraz for twist. I'm going to go with Sinner. Let me make Sinner my first official play here. He's $1.55 or so. I get that, and we did lose with him last time. He almost came back to cover. Remember, 5.5 games here, a little bit closer rated match.
Final.
Of course, against Carlos today, but I'm going to go ahead and take Yannick Sinner to get it today. How about that? Dirty Reg liked the card last night a little bit. AOD, thank you for being here today. And Robert as well. Man, Robert's going to the gym, and I'm sitting here thinking that I'm working out. And let's see as well. Nate had a nice day there as well. All right, we're going to get to the previews in just a moment. I'm glad these guys are talking me up a little bit. Not only am I hot on here, I'm hot on a few other sites, you know what I mean, as well. Time to unhumble myself. I've had a pretty good week and a pretty good weekend here right now. On a pretty strong roll, let's just say right now. Hey, you can get my plays over at winnable.com. I'm going to have some packages out there with the premiums. Talked about it here a little bit just a moment ago as some of the winners that I had. They weren't all winners. I know that. Yesterday, in fact, college baseball, we had a kind of a split there and an MLS package. We did have some nice winners there yesterday. How about Houston and Dallas? We had an under there. I think they don't know if they still might be trying to score.
Final.
There from yesterday, but we had some other winners in MLS action yesterday, and we'll have some more action in soccer, I think, here today. We're just underway here as Nottingham Forest has already scored a goal in the first 11 minutes of the game here. I didn't even see it. Did anybody see the goal there yesterday for Forest? Moments ago, I should say. Was it a mistake here? What's going on? Yeah, just a total mistake here by the goalie, a total giveaway, and Forrest has one of the easiest goals you're ever going to figure out there. Wow, what a disaster that was. All right. We'll have maybe some college baseball. I never got anything off in the UFL yesterday with those two games there, but we did have some selections there yesterday. So, hey, check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. It's only 56 cents a day when you subscribe for 1 month. You get more plays from me. Hopefully going to give you a bunch of great plays here on the show today again. But if you want a little bit more action from me, my top plays, if you will, the sports money premiums, I send out to subscribers, and we have some free subscriptions as well. This is how you support me here on the channel. We are user supported, and my deal is to come on here and give a show on Mike's channel every day, and I really appreciate everybody watching me. And to keep me coming back, please consider subscribing to those plays here. Give some other sports as well. I think it's a unique outlook that I have on sports here on the Sports Money Network, even if I didn't get too hot there in the NBA, WNBA, I should say, last night. We did see action from the ladies there. We'll cover some of those games here now in just a moment. Come back to the screen. Anyways, winnable.com/Ramon and use that promo code STEAM. You can click that QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen to get signed up with these premium plays from me. So really appreciate you listening to that. WNBA last night. Couldn't quite find the winners here on the show. I think we had the reverse sweepage, but I was on another channel giving out some WNBA winners yesterday. We did have a couple of winners on that show, but couldn't bring it home here yesterday. But we're going to be right back at it with two more games today here to preview in the W as well. So, all right. Let's see what we got here. Nate, I think, is on Forest here. Let me bring myself back up here on the screen. Nate is on. He likes betting Forest there. Man, can you believe Forest? Paul, thank you for your registration over there. Irish King here today. Andrew says the blowouts, they're boring. How about
Final.
Angel Reese? She wanted to mix it up with Caitlin Clark and our triple-double there yesterday, as Paul pointed out. Reese was a little bit of upset at a hard basketball foul. Looked like just a legitimate play, but Reese wanted a piece, if you will. I got some Reese's over here. Man, am I really eating? Am I reading Reese's for breakfast? I've got the Reese's here today, but I'll save that for later. All right. And also, how about the Preakness Stakes yesterday and journalism? What a ride for journalism. Hey, did anybody hear me call the race yesterday? And what did I say during the race? Uh, Man, I should play it again. Uh, Journalism coming through traffic, and he got bumped so hard. And I said, he's done. And he came charging through the stretch for the win. One of the best performances. I've been watching a lot of pretty much all the Triple Crown races all my life since about 1976 there. And man, I don't know if I've ever seen a ride like that one in the Preakness for journalism yesterday. Wow, that was impressive. Journalism coming through left for naught and came through charging for the win, passed and win yesterday as an even money favorite in the Preakness, but really a exceptional performance. Horse and jockey there yesterday for Rispoli getting the win in the Preakness Stakes. Journalism probably have to sit out the Belmont given the nature of that ride there, but you never know because journalism could be in the money in all three races. So we'll see. I really like journalism. I was bummed that I couldn't cash on that futures bet that I had a great price in the Kentucky Derby. Obviously was good enough, but that was a rough day in the Kentucky Derby a few weeks ago. So, all right. And let's see what else. I think that's it for the previews here a little bit for today. Let's get rolling for our show. We'll take a little bit more. I went fast yesterday and we won the games. Maybe I should just read off the plays here today. And maybe that will be a better way to go about it. But I know you want a little bit more information here. So good morning to Spoons in the chat as well. Dirty Red says maybe journalism will be in the Belmont Stakes. And the other thing, I guess, about the Belmont Stakes now, at this time, it is not a 1.5 mile race. And you wonder if the Belmont will ever go back to a 1.5 mile once it returns. Of course, we run it at Aqueduct right now here, and we did see obviously yesterday as well. Pimlico will be kind of refurbished. Maryland does not want to let the Preakness Stakes go, and so they will, rebuild a little bit and fix Pimlico up to make it a nice race course. Keep their great Triple Crown race there in Maryland. Also, this morning, another venue that we said goodbye to. If you watched the match between Southampton and Everton with a 2-0 win, and said goodbye to Goodison Park there. Man, that stadium's been around. I don't know I didn't catch what the future of Goodison Park is, or whether it be, but I know Everton's moving on there. So, all right. Let's get to some of the previews today. We're going to preview our playoff action first and foremost. Let's get to it. Just really see what you have in these game sevens, maybe what I have as well as we get ready to roll here today with the Denver Nuggets taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder, Game 7 in this NBA Western Conference semifinal. The winner getting ready to move on. Who will face the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Western Conference? We know in the East, we've got Indiana and New York. And in the West, we're going to find out today who's going to advance here between the Nuggets and the Thunder in Game 7. Now, there is major news here in this game. I think most are aware that one of the best players in this particular game may be very questionable to make this lineup. We're talking about Aaron Gordon, the veteran forward for Denver. He's definitely a key player, probably one of the top 2-3 players on this team for certain after Nikola Jokic certainly here. So there's certainly something to consider here, and whether or not it factors that much into the spread at this time, it probably does a little bit here, at least maybe a half a point to a point here. If he is ruled in, there'll be a little bit of a tick here. In fact, the line currently sits at -8. This morning, and the total is up to 214, which is interesting to note as well, because everyone would say in general, right, that the game sevens do kind of favor the defense. Everyone's all fired up and ready to go and going to play their best D. But we've seen this game this series in particular, these numbers kind of tick up here a little bit. So we can hear what you have in this one with Denver and Oklahoma City here. The total in last game was 218, so it's still going down, down, down because we're in a game 7. But they did go over last time when Denver won it 119 to 107 at home in that game. Oklahoma City had won the previous 2 games, including one here at home, 112 to 105. They won in Denver 92 to 87. Of course, Oklahoma City did score 149 points in game 2 of this series at home. There, remember, after Denver had won the first game. So, look, Denver has been able to win on the road, but they'll have to do it probably here without Gordon today, sidelined by a hamstring injury. Those ones are, some things you could play through, some things you could suck it up. You don't necessarily be able to get it going with a hamstring injury unless it's a minor grade, but anything else, and you're probably toast here, and it does feel like it's going to be tough for Gordon to make the lineup here today, and it is a major factor, I believe, in this game. So let me hear what you think about that and about your picks here in the chat. We'll get them going here. Look, I'm going to try to do a better job on the consensus. I think I want to bring that back and try to figure out how we can have a consensus here as part of the show. But let me get your picks and plays here, I think, right now in the matchup, and I'll go to the chat and make my play as well here for Denver and OKC. Are you willing to go under? Still, the move is clearly on the over here with the books, if you know what I mean. It opened around 212, 212 and a half, and has gone up to 214 today. So, all right, let's see here a little bit. And you guys are still talking about Reese. And the one thing about Reese, I said it yesterday. Now, they said on the show last night, wow, looks like Clark had bulked up. I think Reese had bulked up there a little bit, and I think she'll be fine. But again, she's a little bit misguided. She wants the rivalry. She embraces it, and that's fine. But it's hard to just fabricate it. And maybe, to her, in her mind, there is a big rivalry. I don't think Clark it's hard to ignore, but all right, Cash Cane's on the under here in this one, and Jermaine's commenting on it, whether or not he thinks that's high or low. I guess I'll see in a moment. Thunder here for 9 Legacy, Thunder to roll. It's tough because you don't think that, right, that Jokic, no matter what the line, it feels like he's able to fight through it, right, and no matter what, keep his team in the game, right? That's what it feels like when it comes to Jokic and the Nuggets. But you do need your complementary pieces. Even he does. If anything, maybe the Nuggets are shallow. They're not as deep, and maybe that has been their one factor this season as well. Of course, they didn't finish, with the best record in the conference or anything like that. They were the 4th seed when it was all said and done. Hey, real quick, let's talk a little steam this morning here in basketball, but not this game. In fact, the 2 plays have come in here. We've had a few just as I was coming on the air, but let me cover these. The Seattle Mariners are taking steam in their matchup against the Padres right now. They were plus 120, but The Mariners are going to go down to plus $1.15 or maybe even lower here with Woo on the mound. The Mariners beat the Padres again last night. They're taking a little bit of action here right now this morning, just moments ago. And in the WNBA, we're seeing steam on the total between the Mystics and the Sun. This one was as low as 155, 155 and a half. We are all the way up here to 158 and a half right now with Washington and Connecticut here today. So we'll see what you guys have in that game. But man, that is a pretty big move here in that one between Washington and Connecticut. I'll talk about it here in the preview in just a moment. We're looking at your comments, though, here in the Nuggets game right now. And let's see here. I think this is Nuggets money line and spread for Markel. I think that is that. That's what that says. The Tigers. I'm going to say that those. I'm going to say that means Nuggets before I say too much. But I think with the two G's in there, I think that there. Let's see. Nuggets have been there, done that, but Gordon is missing. But still, Twisted. There it is for him. Nuggets. Now I'm calling them Nuggets here. Should be a great game. Twisted likes the matchup. And I think that might be it from you guys. Got some great comments, but maybe not a whole lot. It's tough. This one in the chat. I'm taking the Thunder of -8. I think that the injury to Gordon, while, like I said, you're going to get probably with this situation with Nikola Jokic. We know he already puts up pretty monster numbers anyways. He'll probably have even bigger numbers here in this one. Look, Murray, Porter can step up too. He needs to step up big time in the absence of Gordon here, but it does feel like Brown is a little bit of a fade here, a little bit down the stretch. So I'm going to go ahead and lay it. I think the Nuggets will be able to compete quite a bit, but maybe in the end, that one key player, like I said, I think the Nuggets are just not very deep, right? They're going to probably have just a 6-man. Yes, they'll roll a 7th man out there for some minutes too, and they'll have to do so even more so without Gordon in the lineup. But they've been kind of short numbers all season with this. They're not a deep team roster-wise here with strong players. So in the playoffs, you end up not playing those guys a little bit. So I'm going to lay the points here with the Thunder. I'm not saying it will be one of those funky blowouts that we've seen, and maybe it will be actually, but you got to give Jokic, it seems like he wills it sometimes here, at least even to stay in the game, make it close, and then maybe that's where OKC pulls away a little bit. Look at that game too. There was no doubt. Remember, they won that game 149 to 106, and even last game when they were a 10-point favorite in game number 5. They only won by 7. Now they're only an 8-point favorite, and they have that player missing. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Oklahoma City here and think I'll think it's more of a pull away for the cover rather than one of those. Look, in these games, in these NBA games, it can get ugly, and while Denver is pretty strong and they have that pedigree, maybe that's what will keep them in. But this one does have that feeling that a team could get away in a game 7, right? A little bit demoralizing here. Robert likes the over, and so does Irish King. And again, right, in the first instinct, I think maybe even with the public here, from what I've heard and seen in comments so far leading up, right? Game 7, it's tough. Everyone gonna be a grind here. Maybe with these two teams, maybe not as much. I think. Look, Thunder, yes, defense, pretty elite for sure, and it has taken the combination of Hartenstein and of course. What's our man's name there? On the Thunder, the kid from I better be better than this right now on the air here anyway. I only love him, Chet Holmgren, of course, teaming up to disrupt Jokic here. So for me, I'm going to take the Thunder to lay it here a little bit. And that'll be my play here on the show. I'm taking the Thunder here to eventually cover the spread. All right. Cash Kane, hello. Nice to see you. Jermaine says it could actually be a very, very rough situation. That'd probably be an under right there for Jermaine, but maybe I think they can sneak, maybe get into the hundreds here, but probably not much deeper than that. I think Jermaine's might be on the right there. And Twisted said, look, we know that the Nuggets are not as experienced, but, it does feel like that they've had a little bit of a taste, right? Here, yes, they're in a very, very pressure-packed situation, and maybe we can say that the Denver Nuggets, of course, have been there and done that, but a little bit of steam coming in right now in the Sunday night baseball game tonight with the Mets and the Yankees. It was 8.5 or so, but some steam coming in right now, and it's coming in on the over in the game between the Mets and the Yankees. Right now, we're seeing nines for sure out here, juice to the under, but we are seeing the steam come in on the over in Sunday night baseball with the Mets and the Yankees, up to 9 for sure in a lot of places here right now. That's why you tune in here in the morning steam. We're just not making this up. We tell you when the line's on the move. We subscribe to the line services, the paid ones where they keep you abreast of everything before it happens almost there. And hey, sometimes if those are your sides, we can get you on top of it and get you a little, save you 5 or 10 cents here and there. Hopefully that's worth your time to spend with me. And Coogie, what a great job. I'd like to invite Coogie to, kind of be a part of our team, man. He really fits the personality, gives us a little bit of a young look there, but, man, he's an old soul, really, in my mind. And it was great to just have him stop by there yesterday. And if Coogie's not busy, Cam, I'd love to have you more, I'm sure, on this channel. You fit the mold here, I think, what we're looking for. With these guys. Kevin's been great on his tennis coverage here in the chat all week. He does like Alcaraz. I'm kind of maybe going heads up with my man right now. And I don't know if it's what Kevin thinks. I mean, I know a lot of people are down on Yannick Sinner because of his negative drug test that made him sit out for 3 months. But, man, he's come back here in the first tournament and already ready to win here. And he's going to be a big favorite in London as well when we get there. So, all right. And let's see here. Bo Jackson. Great to see Bo. Bo was in the duck race, almost won there yesterday. He's on the Blue Jays, the Panthers, and OKC. Thank you. Andrew G there as well. Good morning. Keith Just Truth. Thank you for being here today. All right. Well, I guess that's it for the basketball game, and I'll go ahead and take the Thunder here. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I don't know. If they want to blow them out early, I'll take it. And Thunder here, -8, I'll take them. All right. Let's move on here right now and go to the ice with another Game 7. Should be awesome tonight as we have the Panthers here on the road going up against the Maple Leafs. Now, the Maple Leafs have earned this position, right? But think about the Panthers and maybe how they dominated those 3 games in a row. But harken back, if you would, to the first 2 games of the series and with the Maple Leafs that kind of rolled there a little bit and were making it look like they had finally put some of the bugaboo aside from their previous seasons, not being able to get through a little bit. And they never were able to get that win there once the Maple Leafs or once the Panthers were able to come back and, win their games as well. But now they're back home a little bit. Yes, you have Wall in here. That's been a little bit of a factor for Toronto. They've had to go with their number 2 man there. I say number 2 man, he's had it pretty good. He's had moments still in this series too. But Bobrovsky, look, he's been fine with the Panthers. He's been very, very good. It's been great. But still, Maple Leafs an underdog at home after they were able to play so well in those first 2 games and then get the clutch win there, obviously. Last game, 2 on the road, remember, to force this seventh game as they were able to win 2-0. Remember, it was Florida that came in to Toronto and won 6-1 to put that doubt into everyone's mind. And then I went on to say before game 6, look, if Toronto's going to win, they're going to have to win for Denver, the way Toronto wins, right? They're going to need a high scoring. One thing it will not be is 2-0 Toronto. Well, it was 2-0 Toronto, and they did a great job. I think that shows Toronto a little bit of moxie here for sure. And still at home, that's pretty hard to pass up, even with this matchup. It feels like with the plus money. So let's get your comments, though, in this and see if you guys still want to take Florida or Tampa Bay here in this one. And look at the total. Now, the funny thing is here, we're in a game number 7 here. So, yes. And if anything, right, in this series, we haven't really seen the big totals, but we've seen big scores. But mostly it's been still 5.5 throughout this series, despite the fact that we know it's the playoffs, and we saw game 2 was 4-3, game 3 5-4. We had the 6-1 result in game number 5. So still 5.5 under -150. You might even see 5 over here. In fact, it's a -160 now on the under. Everyone counting here on an under, even with these two teams that on the surface they're kind of over teams to a certain aspect here, is even in the playoffs. I mean, Florida has had big time overs. They're 5-1 to the over in the playoffs on the road. Toronto 6-3 here in the playoffs as a dog. So what do you guys have here in this one? Florida and Toronto. You're gonna still take Florida on the road? Is a plus money enticing enough here? Florida's gone over in 5 straight games coming in off of a loss. The chat kind of loading up here. Give me just one moment here. All right. The golf is underway as well, although the leaders won't be teeing off till about 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern today. And will Scotty pull away against this group? He already has pulled away. All right, here come the comments on the hockey game right now. We're going to start it off with Panthers for Cash Kane here today. Jermaine does like the under here in this one. And let's see here. We've got, Irish King likes overtime just like last night in that one. 9 Legacy here says Toronto Leafs on the money line. And let's see. Twisted talking a little baseball, looks like, in there. So not much, again, from you guys here. A little bit lacking confidence in the chat today. So I better go ahead and pick up this one right now and go with my play in this game. Man, this thing is super juiced to the under, and these two teams do still score, it feels like to me, even with a game 7, man. They could still get a 6th goal. It feels like, I don't know if it's going to be, but it should be. It is game 7 after all. But man, this total is still low for this matchup. I almost don't want to take. It seems like, yes, I'm a game 7 under type of guy too. But I'm going to just take the over, maybe out of principle here. The fact that you can get such plus money, even the 5s here aren't heavily juiced to the over. So I may be a little bit in the minority here. I'm going to go over. Team Cat Whisper likes the under. Twisted said it's been under. Here we've had 2-0 games in the last 3 games. Other than that, they've all been over, actually. And I'm going to go ahead and, man, I don't know. I maybe I'm just playing the price here because the sharps are all over the under. They've been banging the under all week, and it still should be an under here. But I'm gonna think that maybe it is a little bit too slammed for me here. And now I have under 60 there, and we even see a little bit of 62 here at a few books right now. DraftKings 5.5 under 62, but you see Bet Online 5 over 28, Bovada 5 over 30 is their main number now. Some Vegas books 5 over 30. So I'm gonna take the over. Maybe it gets to 5, gets me on that push here. I have 5.5 under 60. With this situation, I always say give me the worst line. We'll tough it out. And that's what we do in the regular season. Here, I'm gonna need 5 over to play that over. But at 5 over 30 or less, I'm fine with it. I'm going to take the over in this game 7 just to be the kind of look at me guy. I'm going to take the over. It very well could be 2-1. I understand that here in game 7, even with these teams here. But don't be surprised if the scoring happens early in the game and then goes dry. Maybe we get a wacky first period with a couple of goals here. I don't know if I have the guts to give out over in the first period, but I don't know. Look, with Bob in goal, he's good. He's good. He's very good. We know he's maybe not quite world class, if you know what I mean. I think we saw some of that last night, but maybe Bob's not all that. With Wool being a bit. Maybe it is 1-1. Maybe it's 2-1 in the first period, and then it goes dry. And then you're grinding it out because all of a sudden the teams are stunned to be in a situation that maybe they weren't expected here. I get it. If it's 0-0 after 1, maybe it will be. But I think the goals may come kind of early and then go through a period, maybe through the late first period and deep into the second period where you get nothing, and then the pressure is on after that. All right. And maybe the Panthers score first here, says Bo, and then that stuns the crowd and takes the energy out, and that would be momentum here, says Bo, for Florida today. So I'm playing the total as my play here on the Morning Steam Show. That's it for the playoffs today. Bo says it's going to be a big, big price to get into that game. All right, let's head on over to Major League Baseball. We got to, after cleaning house yesterday with our picks here on the show. Thank you for paying attention there. All right, let's get to it. Started off here with a little bit of news here. We got some steam coming in here real quick. Let me get this going. Mariners Padres. We just talked about the steam that came in on the Mariners. Now the steam's coming in on the over with Wu and King going in that one. It was 7.5, but now we're seeing 7 shaded to the over right now with some move going on right now. Pretty much market wide coming in. Seattle and San Diego. Steam to the under here right now from 7.5 moving to 7. Okay, let's get back here to the previews, though, right now with Houston here with the pitching. I don't know if I want to call it a change necessarily right now, but Valdez is going here for Houston in this one. They were going to have Gusto, but now it's Valdez in here, and that's a tough matchup for the Rangers in this game against Valdez. For me, Valdez, you got to like the numbers and what he's able to do for Framber. You take a look right now at let me get my scoreboard back going here for Framber Valdez coming in, 3.54 ERA, a 2.79 BABIP, 1.1 the WHIP. Maybe he's underachieved a little bit so far, but man, we're here in Texas where all the games go under, and I'm not kidding. You know how we've been riding this these Texas games under right now for the Rangers. Jack Leiter, 4.34 ERA, 198 batting average against, a 235 BABIP shows that maybe he's pitched in a little bit of tough luck, actually. Leiter's 1-5 to the under so far this season. More than 2/3 of Texas's games have gone under. They're 15-31 to the under so far this season. The Astros are 18-24 to the under so far. So the line here currently, the Astros are favored on the road, $1.20. And the total here is 8, despite the fact that Texas was able to get the win last night here, 5-1, in another under, low score. First game did go over in this series, but the pitching was a little bit shakier there with the starters, right, in that game 1 of the series. So let's see what you have here in the action today. First off, 1:05 Eastern, 10:05 Pacific with the Astros and the Rangers. This one continues to kind of push lower here right now at a flat 8. Go to the chat in this one and see what you have. Sharps are going to be on Texas here as well, I think, today. Let's go to what you have here. And we've got, hey, nice to see Gravy here today in the chat. Detroit and Toronto is taking some steam here to the over right now with Job and Barrios here in this one. If anything, it moved lower, and then now we're seeing it hit higher here. 8.5 over 17 at Bet Online right now. So a little bit of steam coming in. I don't know if this one's being hit very hard, but Bet Online is on the move here to the over right now. And we could see 8.5 over 25 at some of the books. See what else we've got here. We've got 9 Legacy likes Texas on the money line here. And Cash Gains on the Rangers. First 5 in this one. And I think that might be it there from you guys in the chat. Maybe one more here. Let's see what we got. Blue ready to fade those Sharps today. You know, Sunday sometimes is Aces Day, but all right. I think that's it from you guys here in this one. And I'm ready to make my call right now. I'm going to have to take the Texas Rangers here at even money. Give me the Rangers. Like I said, I think Leiter's numbers are a little bit deceiving here right now. Now, I know the Rangers are going to have trouble with the offense, but they've got an okay matchup, it feels like, offensively. And Leiter was a little bit better last time out. He doesn't have overwhelming numbers here, but I don't think there's much regression there for Leiter in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and take him here at even money. All right, next up, we got a little bit of Astros action here from Good Night Munchie. Fernando on the under. Blue says the chat's going under here for sure. Oh, there's Robert. He's with me on the Rangers. All right. And Blue says, I don't know if that's a consensus. Final. I think that would be, who is it on it? Fernando. Oldie lean to the under. Usually I don't count the leans too much there, Blue, if you are keeping track. But you went under. And no facts given, though, did go with the over in this one. So there is an over vote. You got to throw that in there Final. As well, for sure. All right. So I don't know. I didn't really see that many unders. I don't know if I saw 4 unders. Twisted wants Texas money line. Robert likes the over there, and it's tough for me to do it, Robert, right now with what's been going on in Texas, right? Not just the pitching, maybe the lack of hitting, yeah, for sure, with Texas only averaging 3.5 runs per game, but it might be a little bit of something too to just the overall atmosphere there in their stadium too. Irish King says Texas. Blue says Texas, and Blue says consensus. Something's a consensus in there. All right, next up. Well, everyone loves a little Paul Skeens on a Sunday, but look at the line here. Skeens $1.15, 8.5 under. Yeah. This totals up to 8.5 under 15. I'll just call it 8.5, but oh no, I better call it 8. I'll call it under 20 actually, because that feels kind of high. You do have a, a a pitcher here making his debut, touted pitcher here in Abel in this one, making his debut. We've kind of been waiting here for Mick Abel to get this start. He's 23 years old, uh, making the appearance here in this one. So, look, people have been expecting this man to come up and be pretty good in major leagues. And what do? You get to go up against Paul Skeens. So that should be pretty fun there, facing a former rookie of the year. So Philadelphia won the first two games of the series here, 5-2, 8-4 yesterday, got the win. Pirates are not playing well. We know that right now. But for Abel here, the 23-year-old, 2.53 at Lehigh Valley this year with a 5-2 record, or last season anyway, 5-2 there. And good numbers so far in the minor leagues for Abel here. Let's see what you guys have, though, in this one between the Phils going up here against Paul Skeens.
Critical notice.
Today. And let's see here in the chat. What's happened here is NOLA is sidelined for a couple of weeks, so it's forced their hand a little bit. I know some of you guys will have something on this today. Let's see here. Jermaine here is going with the Phillies -1.5. I think Blue is here on the first 5 under in this one. And Blue says the Rangers were a consensus play over Houston. Wow. I'm surprised about it. I figured the public, I'll just say it like that, was going to like Houston. Let's see here. Cash Kane, Pirates, first 5 money line. Jermaine's on the Tigers. Tigers. We'll get to the Tigers. Nine Legacy says Pirates, first 5 and full game. And Twisted says Abel's fresh for the game here. I think is what he's saying. Here's Pittsburgh, first 5 money line. He's still got Skeens here. And, you don't get Skeens at kind of this price, it feels like sometimes. Yeah, against good teams, you definitely have it weighed down a little bit. But getting Skeens at 115 might be a little bit too much for some people to pass up. Here, let's see. Justin's here this morning. Good morning to Justin. Robert likes the Pirates here in this one. And I'm going to go against my man. I'm going to take the Phils here today. Look, they're playing off the charts here pretty much. Abel is a pretty well-regarded, touted prospect here. Got to beat Skeens. I get that. 2.63 ERA, 1.0 the whip. 201 batting average against, probably low scoring early, but still the Bucks just averaging barely over 3 runs per game. The Phils averaging close to 5 runs per game. You got to factor the Skeens. You got to put the Skeens factor in there a little bit. I get that here, but I'm going to have to roll with, I'm going to take the Phils. And we've got Fernando going over. Twisted said that we ain't the public in this chat. You know it. You know we're not the public in this chat. All right, I'm gonna take the Phillies here. Hard to right now. The Bucks are still broken. Final. There's no doubt. Struggling here, certainly big time right now in some of these matchups. Even the Skeens matchups, right? I mean, so far the Pirates with Skeens on the mound. 3-6 this season. All right, Robert says we got a little bit of an issue there going on. safety car out on the track here with just 5 laps to go. So kind of bummer to miss the race here while doing the show. I love Formula One, but that's all right. All right, let's move on to the next one here now. Go with the Braves taking on the Red Sox. You got Schwellenbach going up here in this one. And for the Red Sox, we got Brian Bello. He's also pitched pretty well so far this season. Bello, a 2.33 ERAs look pretty strong here. Yesterday we did get to see some runs for Boston in their win, 7-6 over the Braves. There in a walk-off there in the bottom of the ninth inning, but we saw a pretty good game between these two. Still here, the Braves going to be favored on the road, $1.20, even higher, $1.25, $1.30 at DraftKings right now on the road. But both teams basically just about 500 here at this point. So maybe Bello's been the better starter. That could be part of it here with Bello coming in with that solid ERA and a 2.45 batting average against. But Schwellenbach, 3.48 ERA, pretty respectable. 1.08 whip, much better than Bello, actually, coming in. And the Braves were able to get it done there yesterday on the road. Schwellenbach, 271 BABIP. But Bello's 2-0, and the Red Sox are 4-1 with Bello on the mound. Meanwhile, the Braves are 5-4 with Schwelle on the mound, but they are favored on the road here. Let's see what you have in this one between Atlanta and Boston here today. I'll go to the chat and see what you guys have. Here we go. Going to start it off here with Twisted. Thank you. Listening in the car today. All right, here we go. Another one here. Twisted on the Phillies. Blue is on the Braves. Jermaine is on the Red Sox. Cash Kane. Red Sox first 5. Justin did take these Braves on the road after what he saw there yesterday. Remember, Boston was on a losing streak before winning yesterday's game. Fernando says, seems like another over. I don't know. I like these starting pitchers today. Really, I think the numbers are pretty good. The Braves are still allowing just 3.9 runs per game. That offense has been, kind of the struggles here a little bit with just averaging 4 runs per game. All right, let's see here. We've got Braves team total under here right now. Irish King had Boston yesterday. He's on the over here in this one. Twisted's got the lean on Atlanta. 9 Legacy says Red Sox on the money line. And Justin says Braves lost last night. Boston got that run in the bottom of the 9th inning for the 7-6 win there yesterday. Kind of a wild game, right? Braves led all the way. So they led at 1.5-0 early on. It was 6-2, and then here come the runs for Boston. 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th. Good night, Munchies on the Braves here. Robert says take the Red Sox and take the over in this one. And let's see here. Might be it from you guys there in the chat. I'm taking the Braves today here on the road with Schwellenbach. This is a tough game for me on the side there. So I'm going to go ahead and take Atlanta on the road here to revenge it up after yesterday. All right. Next up, we've got the Nationals taking on the Orioles. Talk about a wild one here with these two after what we saw so far in this series with Washington winning both games and Baltimore continuing to struggle. 10-run performance there yesterday for Washington on the road as they're taking advantage here, this Baltimore team. But look at the line here with Eflin on the mound, another high price here, it feels like, doesn't it, with Baltimore? This team struggling right now to even win a game. They're on a losing streak at this point, and, well, got to look to Eflin, though, a little bit, maybe to be a stopper here almost. 3.13 ERA. The widely reported steam came in on Baltimore. I mean, right now it's $1.85 here. What's going on? You're going to lay $1.85 with a team that can't even win a game right now? Maybe because of Eflin, you can do it. 0.95 the whip. 226 batting average against, 243 BABIP. Doesn't strike out a ton of batters, but doesn't walk any batters leader either. He's going to keep you in the game. The Orioles are down 20 units so far, and they're a $1.85 favorite. I'll put $1.80 in there and maybe try to be realistic about this, but wow. No respect for Soroka here. He's trying to mount a bit of a comeback right now, but 6.43 ERA, 0-2 record in three, in 3 starts. Here, 324 BABIP. He hasn't been very good, that's for sure, but both teams struggling here, allowing over 5 runs per game. There should be some volatility here in this one. And with this big price, I can afford to go with a little bit of run line. It feels like at plus 1.5 minus $1.25, but it's probably worth a money line sprinkle. It feels like as well. I got to take Washington here. This price is out of control. No reason the Orioles to me should be $1.80 or $1.85. Yes, the starting pitching matchup is the underlying factor, I feel like, in this. And yeah, the Orioles here against Soroka in this top of the lineup, the first 5 hitters should be in pretty good position. I'll give you that too. Holiday, O'Hearn, Henderson, Adley, whoever, Mullins in there. They have pretty good matchup against Sorokin, but I just can't do it. Even if Eflin is pretty good, I'm going to take Washington here to get this sweep here on Sunday with the Orioles struggling just to find a win here right now. They fired their manager. Just nothing's going right for Baltimore. They've lost 5 straight. They've also lost 7 straight at home. Washington, not much better. They've lost 8 of 11, but they've won 4 out of the last 5 against Baltimore. 17 of the last 20 games between these two teams have gone under. I'm going to take Washington on the run line. Let's see what you guys have here in this one. More comments from you here, big time on this game. Blue is on the Orioles here. Cash Kane says, lay the Orioles minus 2.5 to crush Washington. And Jermaine says the Orioles will get a win. And let's see here. 9 legacies on Baltimore as well. Feels like Baltimore is almost a consensus here. Old E says Orioles are fade or pass. Blue says no consensus here. There's not good like Munchie on the Nationals. So kind of proving that to be true. I'm on them too here. And maybe they were distracted by the manager getting fired there, it feels like. Washington run line, sprinkle, and money line. No way you twisted can bet Baltimore. Fernando said there was a move to the over in that game with the Braves there. All right, give me the Nats here on the run line. Next up, Detroit taking on the Blue Jays in this one with Jackson Jobe on the mound up against Jose Berrios here. Both pitchers are okay so far. Berrios, 4.33 ERA, 1.4 the whip, 256 batting average against, a 297 BABIP going in this one. Jackson Jobe, a hot commodity here for sure, though. Detroit's won all 7 games that Jobe has started so far with him on the mound. He's 3-0. 4.32 ERA doesn't look great, but 247 BABIP might catch your eye here in this one. And, we have some very sharp people here paying attention to the lines. Talk about my man, Fernando, the steam just came in. He reported that big move on Atlanta, Boston, and now the line services agree. They say that's a steam move to the over with Atlanta and Boston moving higher there. Not only the juiced up nines, but we're seeing 9.5 under at some of the sharpest books right now, including Circa 9.5 under 15 in that game with Atlanta and Boston. Not much respect for Schwellenbach and Bello, maybe after the 7-6 game yesterday, but this is a day game there, I think. And I go ahead, Sharps. Go ahead and push that one up. That's what Fernando would say. You guys go ahead and bet that because I'm ready to take the other side. All right. I went with Atlanta, though. So for Job here, 1.4 whip, not great, but that 247 BABIP, 234 batting average against. So I got to think that Detroit here is probably in pretty good position. This team continues to roll. Despite losing, they lost yesterday's game to Toronto 2-1 in a great game there yesterday as Toronto needed runs in the bottom of the 8th and 9th to win it. Detroit got some great pitching in that one from Reese Olson, 6 innings, just allowed 1 hit and 1 walk. Toronto got good pitching as well from Eric Lauer. But in the end, the Detroit bullpen kind of gave it up a little bit here. But I got to take Detroit in this one on the road. Feels like a pretty confident play, but I was a little shaken by that bullpen effort last night by Detroit. You know, one thing that has been pretty strong for Detroit so far has been the work of their bullpen. They've got an ERA under 3 here. Toronto bullpen 3.88 ERA. So I'm going to go to Detroit on the road in this one. All right, Blues with he wants Tigers on the run line plus the 1.5 at minus big money. Jermaine says take the over. James Parm, hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Cash Kane, Blue Jays first 5. Also, Justin says Blue Jays over in this game. Jermaine says Tigers have been a great road underdog here this season. How about that? That is an impressive record. Is that really what it is, Jermaine? Here is 9 Legacy on Detroit. Keith Just Truth says Tigers, but Goodnight Munchie likes the Jays. And a Blue, let's see, I don't know there. Hey, Donut Silks, nice to see you yesterday. He says journalism got the win. I didn't bet, you know, I was excited there seeing journalism win, but I actually had the 7. Let's see here. Detroit money line and over. And that might be it from you guys in this one. Blue said go with the Tigers on the run line. I'm going. Oh, he said go with the minus 1.5. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Blue. Yeah, that'd be a good return actually, because they are pretty sure they're still an underdog here, right? Yeah, Blue Jays are minus $1, even $1.25 here right now, and 8.5 is shaded to the over for sure in this one. And I think that's going to do it here in this one. I thought I had one other note here that was a pretty good one in this game, but I think I'll just leave it at taking Detroit here. The widely reported steam did come in on the over. Let's go ahead and bump the over up on the graphic and show it again here. I think it's probably 8.5 over 20 and the little bit of 5-cent move here on the Blue Jays, but I'm going to go ahead and take Detroit here in this one. Detroit's won 6 of the last 8 meetings against Toronto. Toronto's lost 5 of their last 7 games at home. Toronto's gone over in 10 of their last 13 overall. Detroit's gone over in 13 of their last 18. But this might be a better pitching matchup than Job's numbers. Like I said, the peripherals are better maybe than the ERA for sure here. And Detroit up 11 and 2/3 units already so far this season with that 30 and 16 record. Next up is the Rays taking on the Marlins. Shane Baz taking on Cal Quantrill here. Baz has an ERA of 5, but Tampa Bay was able to get the win yesterday in a shutout, 4-0. And we had him here, right, on the show.
Final.
Yesterday with Rasmussen over Alcantara. Baz here, though, rough numbers here for sure. 5 ERA, 2.53 batting average against, a 3.09 BABIP coming into this one for Quantrill. Isn't striking out a lot of guys at this point, but he's got an ERA of 7 with a 1.6 whip. 348 BABIP coming in, so Quantrill has had his struggles as well, but the Marlins have backed him up with some run support. He's got a 4-4, or the Marlins are 4-4 with Quantrill on the mound. Tampa Bay kind of owns this series though right now, and maybe that's why they are significant favorites here right now, up to $1.60, 8.5 over 20 here at this point. So let's take a little bit of a look at it here right now with these two. See what you guys have in the matchup between Tampa Bay and Miami. Tampa Bay, like I said, they've kind of dominated the series. They've won 14 of the last 17 matchups between the two teams. But, right now the Rays haven't quite reached 500. It's just the Marlins are 17 and 27 coming into this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the Rays. Like I said, they're probably up to about $1.65 right now. And the total, I would say, closest is, 8.5 over 15, maybe over 20 here. There we go. Mark it up. See what we got. See what you want to do in the chat. In this one, you got Tampa's gone under in 13 of their last 20 overall. Miami's gone under in 5 of their last 7. 5 of the last 6 games have gone over, but yesterday's game was 4-0. Like we said, Miami's 24 and 13 to the over as an underdog this season. They've given up some runs for sure. Let's see how you guys can play it here with Tampa and Miami here. Man, Tampa, that price is high, but they've been doing very well in this series. All right, here we go. Keith Just Truth says Rays first 5 below. Brandon Lowe here over 1.5 bases for Justin. Blue says that they can show up today. And Fernando's on the Rays minus the 2.5 runs here on the road. Oh, no, he says make it 1.5. 9 Legacy, Devil Rays on the money line here. And that might be it from you guys here in this one. All right. I'm going to just take the under here. Look, these numbers are bad, but I'm going to stick with the under at 8.5. That's not going to be a very popular play. I other than the fact that the two teams have been going under quite a bit lately, I don't have much in the way of support statistically of this. I will say, though, Tampa Bay 7-1 in Miami last 8 games, and Tampa Bay's played pretty well on the road as well, 10-3, but $1.65, man, that's really tough for this team right now, isn't it? All right, here we go. Guardians taking on the Reds with Ben Lively on the road, going up against Andrew Abbott here, and Abbott's been pretty good so far this season since moving into the rotation, 6 starts, 2.1 ERA, 1.0 whip, 185. Batting average against Abbott. Solid numbers for Luis Ortiz. 2-4 with a 4.78 ERA, 1.36 the whip, 286 BABIP, 229 batting average against, pretty respectable there. But you do have a Cleveland team here right now with 3 straight losses. In fact, Cincinnati won yesterday's game 4-1. They won the opener 5-4 and did a nice job in this series against the Guardians. For Cincinnati coming in here right now with that little bit of a winning streak, they beat the White Sox to close out that series. They actually lost that series to the White Sox, so not a lot of momentum coming in, and maybe the fade train was on, but they've won a couple here, and man, they can go for the sweep here in this one with the clearly better pitcher, it feels like, on the mound. Now, there's a lot of things that might point to the under in this game. In fact, Cleveland's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. 5 straight games on the road in this rivalry series in Cincinnati have gone under. 7 straight in the series overall. Cincinnati's gone under in 6 straight games, including 5 straight at home. So what are you going to do here? Because I don't know if it is going to be an under today, despite what I just said. Let's go to the chat, though, and see what you have. Cleveland's lost 5 of their last 7 overall.
Final.
We've got coming in here, Blue is on the Reds. Will is here today. He likes the Rays in that other one. He likes Cincy here. Guardians money line for 9 Legacy. And that might be it from you guys in this one. All right, I'm ready to make my call here with this matchup. And I'm going to take the over, actually, with this one between Cleveland and Cincinnati today. Robert's on the Reds. Munchie likes the Guardians here, but you can call them the Indians on the morning steam. We don't mind here. We think it's a great sense of pride that we should have Native American team names. I think we should. Okay, let's see here. Twisted says Cleveland and over for him. I'm on the over for sure. Cash Kane, Reds first 5, money line. And one more. What was it? Twisted likes it 6-4 tonight. And Goodnight Munchie says, I call him that. I am Indian, right? And that's just it. We want to be able to remember our great native heritage on this continent. So I want Native American nicknames. I want Fighting Sioux out there. I want Seminoles. Okay, I want those. Look, let's not call teams Redskins. Okay, let's call them great traditional names, tribe names. I think those are great. The Braves, I like that too. All right, next up, we've got the Minnesota Twins and Zebby Matthews going here in this one against Peralta. So we get Zebby in here. I thought Zebby was supposed to, didn't I try to make Zebby already start a game? And what did they do? They didn't have him start that game coming in. So we get to see the debut of this touted prospect here for sure. And not only that, the Twins have won 1 million games in a row coming in. We know right now Minnesota, a massive winning streak, 14 straight wins currently on a roll. And they're an underdog here against Freddie Peralta and the Brewers. Look, Peralta, it could come to an end today. I get it. We know that the Twins have been doing it despite the fact that they've been missing a couple of top players here a little bit. Will Castro, he's questionable coming into this one. Buxton was headed to the disabled list. Correa also on the injured list with those concussions for these guys, but Minnesota keeps doing it right now. Now, Peralta is a different story than some of these other pitchers for sure. 1.0 whip, 197 batting average. Yep, 196 batting average against here right now, 246 Babbitt, but Matthews is a highly touted prospect. Right now, but Milwaukee is minus $1.50 for the most part, maybe $1.45 or lower at some of the sharp books right now, but still a big favorite against a team that's won 14 straight games. Come on. Total here is down to 7.5 flat. And Freddie's been good, but the Twins lineup is heated up even without these injuries here. Nine Legacy says the Brewers will win the game. Cash Kane says Brewers money line. First five here, and Will likes the Brewers here to snap that winning streak of the Twins. I can't do it. I'm still going with these Twins. It may be until further notice. Look, I guess if you wanted to pick a spot, maybe for it to end, maybe this would be it. There's no doubt that Peralta has been good, one of the better pitchers in the league so far here. And get this, Peralta, 1-7-1 to the under so far. These two teams combined 31-53 to the under so far this season. The Twins are allowing just 3.3 runs per game. So give me Minnesota here in this one, plus $1.45 at least here. But I'm going to go ahead and take the underdog Twins with this winning streak. I like Freddie. Don't get me wrong. This probably be, I would think, maybe a low scoring game. But look, the problem here is right now the Twins have dealt 3 straight shutouts, right? They've just shut out Milwaukee twice. They shut out Baltimore before that. I think it's been, uh, uh, 24, 31 innings. What did they say? 31 straight shutout innings here right now for this Minnesota rotation. Yes, you have a rookie first-time starter, but he is highly touted here in this debut. So, all right. Appreciate it, gang. Man, this thing Milwaukee 7-13-1 to the under at home so far. Next up is the Cardinals taking on the Royals here. The I-78 series with Waka favored here in this one. 2.96 ERA for Waka. He's been pretty good. The Cardinals have been good, though. If it wasn't for the Twins, we'd be talking about the Cardinals right now with their hot streak coming in. They've won 3 in a row, but before that, they were even more solid. Kansas City's lost 4 straight, but the Cardinals have been one of the hottest teams in the majors, not named the Minnesota Twins right now with this current run. They've won 12 of their last 13 games overall. They've beaten Kansas City in 13 of the last 20 games overall here for the Cardinals. Liberatore going here in this one. Solid numbers for him. 3.11 ERA, 226 batting average against. Both these guys have a BABIP about 280, but still pretty solid, no doubt about it, have been. Waka, just 3-4 overall, and Liberatore 3-3. The teams are, Cards 4-4 when Liberatore starts, and Kansas City 5-4 when Waka is in there. Royals are 16-30 to the under right now this season. Let's go to the chat in this one and play the game between St. Louis and Kansas City. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but Kansas City struggling up here a little bit, having lost 6 of their last 7. But, man, I'm going to give them a chance here, I think, in this one, despite how hot the Cardinals have been. And, yeah, Kansas City's lost 4 straight. A lot of that offense hasn't gotten it going, but they've had great pitching for sure. Royals here, 3.3 runs scored per game. Not great. In the chat, though, here we go with Cardinals money line for blue. And Cards here, reverse run line says they've hit Waka pretty good. And Will's on the Royals here. Walk has been pretty solid. Cards reverse run line, Blue said there. Twisted likes the Cardinals on the run line, however. So does Blue. Good night, Munchie says go over in this one. James Parham says Cards money line. Robert says you got to take the
Final.
under here with these two. Pitchers 9 legacy on the Royals. Cash Kane, Royals team total under here in this one. All right, I'll make the call here right now in the matchup between St. Louis and Kansas City. For me, Kansas City is decent as they've been this year. They are on a little bit of a losing streak right now. All right. I'm going to try the Royals here in this one to snap that hot streak of the Cardinals today. I'm going to take Waka there. It feels like a little bit. Terrell does think the Cardinals will sweep here. Robot Glock is here today. He takes Kansas City with me here. Irish King, Cincinnati back on that other game. Thank you. Here is Irish King, St. Louis on the run line. Paul says, give me the Royals here with Ramon. And Irish King is on Minnesota in that next game. He fell behind us a little bit. And Blue says our second consensus is St. Louis on the run line here. We got our second one here. I'll take the Royals, and a couple of others did too, including Paul. But I'll go ahead and take Kansas City. I'm going against that hasn't been great for me of late. I was hot there for a while against the consensus, and I cooled down. All right, next up, we got the Battle of Chicago here with the White Sox and Cannon going up against Colin Ray and the Cubs. Look, it says 250 there, and that's because the steam was on the White Sox today. Here, it's gone back up a little bit, probably 260 here. In fact, Bovada's 290. They have feels like refused to move. I moved it as low. I'm going to call it 275, but the square books seem to be back up already to almost $3 here, and the total 7.5 over 20 or 8 under 20. You make the call there. It feels like I'll call it 8 under 20, I guess, still at this point, with Jonathan Cannon coming in here for Cannon. He's got a 3.6 ERA, respectable numbers here, 1.3 whip, 296 batting average against for Cannon here. The steam did come in on the White Sox today, but Colin Ray's 3-0 with a 2.48 ERA. 302 BABIP, though, does say that maybe he hasn't been all that. Still, the Cubs are 5-1 with Ray on the mound. And, well, the White Sox are 1-6 with Cannon, but they're 1-6 pretty much with every pitcher on the mound, it feels like so far. Cubs have won 7 straight here against the White Sox overall. White Sox are just 2-8 their last 10 games on the road. Cubs here have gone over in 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two, and White Sox have gone under in 5 of their last 7. Let's see what you have here, though. Big numbers for sure here with the White Sox and the Cubs here today with Colin Ray. Team Cat says Cards on that winning streak. Robot Glock says the White Sox about to turn around here and go all the way to the World Series. All right. Now nobody wants to pick this game, that's for sure. I will. I'll make a call here. Man, could I really take these White Sox? You know what? Feel like we've done pretty well on these White Sox plays a little bit. And I'll take them. I'm going to take them on the run line against these big bad Cubs. Hey, I'm playing with house money after yesterday's game. I'm not mailing these in, but I think Cannon's okay. They've lost 3 straight. I get that. The Cubs won yesterday's game. They've won this series so far 20-6. The Cubs have won the first 2 games of this series. We know the White Sox have been bad, but they're still 24-22 on the run line as a dog. So I'll take them here. You are getting the old plus right now, I believe, in this one. White Sox are plus $1.10 on that run line. So I'm going to try him today. White Sox money line here for 9 Legacy. Roberts with me on the White Sox run line. Probably would be better with 2.5 at minus money. I get that. Oldie, White Sox first 5. Cubs over team total here for Terrell. And Robot Glock says you got the wind blowing in today here in Wrigley. That's put that total down here, right? All of a sudden, I know Robot Glock knows the weather. When you have the totals in the first 2 games of the series, 11.5 and 10, and then you got it all the way down here to 8, yeah, okay, the pitching is a little better today, but I'm going to have to take, I'll take the White Sox, but maybe you know what I mean there. And this one's going to be a heavy public game for sure, it feels like, on the Cubs. The Sharps will be on the White Sox here, it feels like, today. All right, let's keep it rolling here right now. Blue still going over, it feels like. Cash gain on the under in the White Sox game. How about the A's taking on the Giants today with Springs going up against Verlander here? Look, Verlander still 0-3, a 4.31 ERA coming in. But look, I think if the matchup here against these A's bats, as good as they've been, I say good, the runs scored, 4.3 runs per game. The A's can mash certainly a little bit, and they've been a big surprise, of course, with their 22-24 record overall. Done a nice job here, but they still allow 5.6 runs per game. And, well, the Giants' pitching is much better, allowing just 3.8 runs per game so far this season. But Verlander, 0-3. 293 BABIP for Springs, 9 starts. It's gone over in 6 of those 9 starts. Got a 4.27 ERA coming in, a 264 BABIP in this one. Let's see what you got, though, with this matchup with the Giants favorite here. Just $1.40 here against the A's, right? I mean, I get it. We've had a lot of fun with the A's, but look, the Giants have won the first 2 games in this series with, I don't want to say relative ease. Last night it was 1-0. It was 0-0 for 9 innings before they were able to get the extra inning win. You know how it goes in extra innings, but A's didn't score. So, Giants here, though, man, this price seems pretty low here. Yes, Verlander hasn't been good, and we don't know if he can totally turn around and be old Verlander. But let's see what you got here in this one. Will's on the A's here, and cash gain A's money line. It's all A's. Wow, you guys aren't seeing it like I am. All right, everyone's on the A's. Well, I'm against you. I can't do it. I'm just not getting the right price. I mean, everyone's on to these A's, it feels like, and I'm getting a Giants team here that, look, they're still 27-19, right, or whatever they are here. So they still won the first 2. They were hammering in that first game of the series. So I've got to take the Giants at this price. I'm sorry, gang. I know you're all in the A's. It's a consensus. Hey, the last time I disagreed on more than one consensus, the chat got me. So I'll go against them again. Here's an over here for James Farm. Despite the 1-0 game there yesterday, 0-0 after 9 innings. Thank you, James. I always appreciate your great contributions. Just teasing you a little bit, because Cash Kane also likes the over and Blue likes the A's money line. Fernando says I'm going to lean to the under here in this one. The Rockies taking on the Diamondbacks here with the Rockies and Chase Dolander. I know a lot of people are ready to give up on Dolander a little bit. I know I've talked him up and said, hey, watch it here, Dolander. And, well, I still think you got to consider him a nice prospect here. 7 starts. He's learning on the job for sure. 6.88 ERA, but a 2.96 BABIP, pretty respectable. He's got to cut down those walks a little bit. He'll find his way, I'm sure. Well, I don't know. With the Rockies, you never know if they will find their way. Anyways, for Kelly here, 9 starts, 3.71 ERA. .218 batting average against, and well, a 247 BABIP coming into this one. Arizona here, 330 is what it says there. But the widely reported steam did come in on Colorado. It's actually brought the Diamondbacks down to maybe 300, maybe even a little less. That's a game where it didn't move back at all. The total here, I'll call it 9 flat. There's some 9 overs. There's some 9 unders. So I'll
Final.
Take it here as a 9 flat, but a little bit of a discount, I would say. Maybe you like that steam on, I don't know if anybody does, right, with this Colorado team right now. To me, it feels like you're getting a discount on Arizona. Now, Colorado won 14-12 yesterday, so good for them. They got a big win in a high-scoring game because they lost the first game of the series 8-0. Maybe they were still reeling from the firing of Black. Shouldn't be now. It's been almost a week, right, here. So, look, Colorado still 13-29 on the run line here right now. And you got a game where Arizona should dominate. And while they did give up 14 runs yesterday, if there is some volatility like that, I'd have to think that Arizona would be the side that you want to go to and lay the run line with in this one. Now it is minus $1.50 or so, $1.60 right now, but my play is going to be Arizona on the run line, despite the big price here. I can only do so many things, and I'm not going to take Colorado right now off of a win. I'd rather have them be a surprise winner here. Let's see if anybody agrees. Here, Team Cat Whisper like the under in that Cubs White Sox game. Thank you. And Kelly Twisted said Kelly pretty solid at home, very solid at home. Really, it feels like 9 legacy though. Rockies on the money line. Fernando on the under here in this one. I'm going Arizona. Lay it today on the run line. Terrell says Colorado team total over 4.5. They took that steam, no doubt about it. But on the surface here, you still have Colorado just 6-14 their last 20 against Arizona overall. They've still lost 18 of their last 20 on the road here. Colorado's gone over in 10 of their last 13, but Arizona's gone under in 7 of their last 9 games at home. I'm going Arizona. Next up is the Angels taking on the Dodgers here with Yusei Kikuchi on the mound. 3.72 ERA. The Angels have beaten the Dodgers in 2 straight games. Hey, I want to mention a little bit right now. The Giants are getting steamed here. I'm not saying they're watching the show. They're steaming them because I said the line is too low, but all of a sudden it's up to $1.55 here right now at Circa. In fact, Circa's leading the move. When you see that Circa leading the move, right? Because you know one of the best places here in Vegas to bet a favorite is at Circa because their lines are so extremely fair, and you do have a lot of sharp dog action every time. But when Circa gets in the front of the market, right, you got right at this second anyway, Circa minus $1.54, but Bet Online $1.45, DraftKings $1.40. The leading indicators trailing here, Circa, to me, that indicates that's pretty sharp. So I'm going to have to lay a little bit more now when I get off the air here with San Francisco. But the steam on the Giants. And remember, consensus was on the A's. All right, Dodgers and Angels here. Angels are on fire with the 2 wins over the Dodgers. Angels 6-2 and 11-9 last night in a wild one. I did say on the air. Now, look, we were on the Angels. I did say on the air, you couldn't do much worse than taking the Dodgers at minus $1.05 live down 1-0. But still not enough bullpen left. Kershaw got rocked. For the most part, gave up some runs anyway, and the Dodgers had to get in the bullpen early. The Dodgers could have issues here in the bullpen too, but with Gonsolin on the mound here, kind of like a bounce back, even though I think people are a little bit too skeptical of Kikuchi here. Yeah, 304 BABIP, 372 ERA is respectable, but still Kikuchi 0-4 so far. He is 6-2 to the over. For Gonsolin here, 2.81 ERA in his 3 starts, 1.0 WHIP. 314 BABIP, so maybe not perfect here. I'm going under in this one with the Dodgers and the Angels. Right now, the Dodgers are down to 225 at some books, but Bovada is 240. You might look at it as a bit of a discount here. I'm going with the under in the Angels and the Dodgers here today. Blue is on the Dodgers run line. Cash King. Dodgers money line and over. Will says it is the Dodgers for him today. I'm going under with the Angels and the Dodgers. Next up is my Padres taking on the Mariners. And, well, look, we gave out the Mariners yesterday on the run line, but they did get it done with the win over the Padres. And
Final.
They've got Brian Wu going here in this one. Wu's been very good so far this season. One of the best pitchers in the league for a certain extent, at least top 20 pitchers right now, it feels like. Wu, 4-1 with a 2.84 ERA, 8.88. The WHIP coming in pretty solid, 248 BABIP, 200 batting average against Wu has been strong for sure. But so is Michael King, 4-1 also with a 2.32 ERA, 0.99 WHIP, 187 batting average against. Both pitchers strong with the strikeouts. King walks a few more than Wu so far, but good matchup, good pitching matchup. Padres favored here, maybe up to $1.45, $1.50 at some books. And the total, I've got it at 7.5 on screen, but it's lower than that. If it's 7.5, it's got to be under at minus 125 or over 7 at minus 120. It feels like with the widely reported steam coming in right here when we were on the show on the under, and it's also come in on the Mariners here as well this morning. So can the Mariners get this sweep of the Padres? It seems like they play this
Final.
They play this Padres team well, and I think the Mariners are in the Padres' head a little bit. They seem to, be pretty strong in this series. So let's see what you got here in this one with Wu and King. Wu King. Good night, Munchie. Likes the Padres here. Fernando says this got to be an under. It's got to be a total under, right, Fernando? Here. Twisted likes the under. Todd Clinton likes the under. Hey, I'm going to try to get on some consensus here. I might take the under. I was going to save that maybe as a premium. But hey, steam coming in right now, you guys. Minnesota and Milwaukee. Matthews and Peralta. Look, I don't know if you got the gist of what I was saying. I'll just say the steam's on the under. I know it was on Zebby and Minnesota. I like Zebby, and I think he could have a good outing today. This steam on the under looks pretty legit. It was 8 when we talked about it, right? It's a 7 flat at Circa here right now with Minnesota and Milwaukee. Oh, my gosh. Probably still can expect it maybe on my premiums. Will I back off? Blues on the Padres in this one. Here is 9 Legacy Padres money line and under here. And I'm going to take the Mariners in this one with Wu on the road. A little bit of plus money. I think they might sweep the Padres. Padres, just some teams, they kind of don't play as well here. Look, the Padres are one of the best teams in the league so far. Make no mistake, but the Mariners are too here. So good game today. I'm going to take the Mariners on the road to get the sweep over my Padres. All right. Robot says, look, if you're going to have a big move to the under, keep it under 7 runs. Yeah, I get it. Seattle, they're minus almost $2 on this run line. But, boy, doesn't this one feel like a 3-2 game or something like that? I think that's what Robot Glock is saying there. Thank you, Robot. I'll take the Mariners. All right, and finally, Sunday Night Baseball here with Mets and Yankees with the Drew Peterson on the mound. A couple left-handers here, make no mistake, in this one with Peterson here going against well, maybe the best pitcher in baseball right now, Max Fried, 6-0. Yankees are 8-1 with Fried on the mound. He's got an ERA of 1.11. Yes, sir. There. 935 whip, 190 batting average against, a 237 BABIP coming into that one. Peterson, a 3.45 ERA, but a 3.28 whip. This one might be a little tougher for the Mets than anticipated, it feels like, despite how well the Mets have been playing here. Yankees in this one, $1.65. Mets got the win yesterday by the score of 3-2 after the Yankees grabbed the first one. So should be pretty good for Sunday Night Baseball tonight. Between these two teams, they're combined 35 and 52 to the under so far. Of course, the Mets have that great pitching, allowing just 3.2 runs per game so far this season. What do you have? Mets and Yankees here in this one. For the Mets, they have won 5 of the last 6 games against the Yankees, despite that one loss 2 games ago. Yankees have won 7 of their last 10. They've gone under in 11 of the last 14 games at home. 7 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams here in Yankee Stadium have gone under, and the Mets have gone under in 4 of their last 5. They've gone under in 5 straight games on the road. So, what do you think here between Mets and Yankees? The total's gone up here, 8.5 over 20 is now 9 here. I'm going under. I'm going under for sure here. Max Fried's pitching and the total's 9. What is he going to do? Give up 4? I wouldn't think so. Give me the under here. Peterson's okay. I know this is a tough game, tough environment here. Tough place to pitch, Yankee Stadium, right? But give me the under as my play here in this one. Weather conditions tonight, winds blowing out big time, 17 miles an hour, pretty much to center, right center. So there's wind. It's going to be a little bit tough. I'm going under tonight, under 9 in this one. Here comes some plays from you guys here. It's going to be Padres were a consensus. I'm going against the chat here in 3 different games today. Wow. Ugh. There goes my hot streak, huh? Padres money line and under back in that other one. I think I covered those. Here's blue on the Yankees, 9 legacies on the Mets. Robert likes the over. Twisted likes the over. I do get it. There, Terrell says over as well. Robot Glock says big time wind here, going right to the easiest part in the ballpark to hit a home run. But I'm counting on Max Fried to be masterful here, it feels like. And here's Cash Kane on the Yankees with me a little bit here, it feels like. And I'll take the under. All right, that's it for baseball. Hey, we spent a little more time on it today, right? We got to get those trends out and get the plays all in there. So, all right, that's going to do it for baseball. We've got some WNBA to look at for sure here right now. Let's go to it. Mystics and the Sun in this one. And, yeah, you got 2 of the worst teams. If there wasn't the expansion team, I think everyone would kind of be ranking right now these 2 teams as the lowest rated in the league. Connecticut's on a rebuild here right now, so they're going to have to. But look, Washington's favored on the road. Connecticut's not going to, go 2-39, right? I mean, come on, they're going to have to beat some teams. And if you've got the Mystics here, okay, I get it. They just had an upset win over Atlanta. Atlanta's not, they haven't turned it around necessarily. Granted, they lost to the Mystics, right? They were favored in that game by like 6 points. So I don't think that shows that the Mystics are, hey, we got them wrong. I think these might be 2 of the worst 3 teams in the league. I want to give Connecticut a little more credit because they have that word sun across their jerseys. And this team, this program, I almost kind of make it equate it to the Huskies. I mean, we know the Huskies probably could beat them this year, but the way Connecticut Sun has built this team, it's kind of like the Huskies in a way, and they've been so consistent. And yes, they're revamping their roster here, but Washington has not totally turned it around. If Washington was number 11 in the league, it feels like Connecticut's number 12. So, you would think that would, to me, kind of say, no way should Washington maybe be a road favorite here. Anyways, one thing Washington is doing, it looks like to me, in that first game is tempoing it up big time here. And yes, the total's wrong on the screen. I get that, but it's steamed here while we're on the show. And right now it's up to 160. Oh my God. So they were totally on to yeah. Oh man, I don't know if I could actually, I'm still going to do it because I want to make my point that I think we missed it. Look, if it ends up 158, 159, I'm sorry. And I know we've missed the boat here on this one. 5-point move overnight. I'm going to go with the over, but just because I think, and we'll see, my call is Washington is they might, I don't know if they're going to be it's hard to say a team is fast if they're not very good because they might get blown out. But I think they're going to be the team that maybe tries to be up tempo a little bit. Whether or not that works against the Sun, maybe the Sun's going to bog it down. But I'm going to go over here 160. That almost a little bit out of my range. But I came on here trying to say today that watch this Washington team. 155, no way. It's going to be way over this. And yeah, it's easy to say now. Okay, here. Terrell says, what did you think about that call yesterday on a flagrant? Yeah, it looked like just a basketball foul to me. There should be a possibility of kind of going, sometimes you foul someone to foul someone, right? And I think that is what Robot is saying too, right? But and again, when you foul a star player like Reese is, even if she's not a tremendous offensive player, she is a star. So maybe there's a little bit to that. And they were crushing them anyways. So one day Reese might learn that it doesn't need to be this rivalry here with Clark. And I think she actually makes the rivalry on the court. I don't think she holds disdain for Clark like people do. I think deep down there is a sense of respect. I think they've expressed that in the past a little bit, even having a
Final.
Good game type of thing. We've seen like at the end, hey, I like, great player, blah, blah, said the right things. But hey, on the court, you can have a rival, right? Thank you to Blue for taking care of today. I didn't turn on the machine. I don't have a drawing to do. I'm going to have to turn on the machine to get us back, but I want to thank Blue for doing it there. And Robert says there's still some low numbers. Yeah, you know what? I see the 160 out there, so I put up the 160 to kind of make a point of it. In fact, the 160 is at Circa. And hey, if anybody doesn't know, I kind of put Circa as my top book here on the show anyway, at least from Las Vegas. All right. Let's see here. Home teams in the WNBA, says Terrell here. And I'm kind of on it too, I guess. Join me. I'm on a WNBA preview show every day. So on YouTube, it's not here on this channel, but please you can check me out there and see my plays, other plays for today here. All right. And I think that's going to do it for that one. I'm taking the over here. A little bit daunting here right now, this number, but you know what? It may go way over that. And here's the Lynx taking on the Sparks. Now, look, the Sparks, hopefully they're improved. Technically, I think the Sparks are my favorite team. They've been for a long time, ever since even Lisa Leslie. I go back a long ways with the WNBA. So the Lynx, though, here off favorite on the road, 155, or I'm sorry, 5.5. Total 161. Forest leading here 2-1. We're moving into injury time. So in this one, though, Minnesota, they should be the much, much better team. There's no way this line should be 5.5. It should be higher. Now, maybe because of Plum, the great performance, 37 points. They beat Golden State. The jury's still out. I hope Golden State's better than 67 points and got blown out by the Sparks at home. But I'm willing to say right now that LA took advantage of a team that maybe wasn't ready to play a professional basketball game personnel-wise. They could improve dramatically. Talk about the Valkyries right now and get it together, maybe get out there that first game. They didn't see great opponents there in the preseason. Other teams were kind of putting other players, looking at other players before the cuts and everything. The WNBA might have the roughest cut in sports because the margins are so thin on the reserve players. It really hurts to cut some of these ladies. But in this one, it's got to be Minnesota, man. It's got to be Minnesota all the way. It's got to be in Minnesota. It feels like it should be close to a double-digit win. I do respect what we're saying here about the home teams, and I think this could be a home team kind of dominated league, even more so than we've seen in the past. But it does seem like a massive class difference right now between these two teams. Give the Sparks a chance maybe at home. As a dog, I can't do it right now. Minnesota seems almost they're right up there with the it feels like they're right up there with the Liberty. Yes, maybe with the Aces. I know it was a disappointing effort because a lot of people were on the Aces as a dog, including myself, and looking back on it, that bad call there. Liberty ready to go in that one. So all right, Robert's with me on the links, and that's probably it from you guys, maybe in the chat there, but I've got to take the links. They really should. It should be close to a double-digit favorite, I would think, here today. Really does seem like it. Okay, we've got a game here real quick. Let me see what we've got. I think we've got a UFL game. I couldn't come through with the play yesterday, and I don't even know if I can yet again in this one. Let me look at the numbers here real quick. I didn't go into a deep dive or anything for Arlington, and quite frankly, I just bet the UFL games yesterday. Couldn't even give out anything publicly. I was better when the two 1-6 teams were playing each other. I was able to figure out that one a little bit. Hey, did anybody follow remember yesterday at the end of the show, I talked about the Eurovision Song Contest. I didn't get it right, but that was a good song, and Austria won. Did anybody watch it after I advised it? Yeah, I had to go back and watch it afterwards. I was on the air. I mean, I watched on the air the voting and the performances, but I went back and listened to the songs last night while I was handicapping. Really enjoyed the Eurovision Song Contest, won by Austria. There was controversy with the Israeli entry. We know there's always going to be some politicizing there a little bit. But all right, here we go with the Renegades and the Defenders here in this one with our UFL action today. And it's going to be a pretty tight game, I would think, here in this one with Arlington and the Defenders. But I'm going to take the Defenders here. Look, Arlington's probably my favorite team this season, but I'm going to have to take DC here. I hope Will's not in the chat. He's probably going to give me the business. Well, no, he's a Renegades. He's a Houston fan. All right. So, anyways, I like DC. That's tough at -3, but I'm going to take them to cover. Let me make sure it's a 3 here right now. It might be. Oh, it's 1. Oh my gosh. The money's coming in on the Renegades. Shame on me. It's 1.5. I like the Defenders here for sure. DC at home. Give me the beer snake, and I'll take DC for sure. I'm gonna fade the steam, and there was definitely steam that came in on the Renegades. Ramon, all he does is chase the steam. Everybody knows. No, I'm going with the Defenders. The steam is on the Renegades here. I'm going with the DC Defenders. I've got to play in the UFL. All right. There, let's see. Anybody with me? Nah, nobody's playing any UFL with me today. Do I have anything else I could touch on here? I may have MLS today. I know the soccer there was pretty. I think we split the MLS there late. Houston, Dallas under. At least it went 0-0. But my European soccer was pretty dreadful there yesterday, right? College baseball, we went 2-2, but I think I'll have some college baseball here on the series closer. I was watching mostly college softball yesterday with regionals, pretty exciting, but not going to give anything out. There's only a couple books dealing college softball, so I don't want to waste too much time. People can't get it, but maybe in the tournament there'll be some more lines coming out. I'll make some. I'm ready to go. I'd be ready to go publicly with some of these plays, but I just don't think there's enough people betting it and enough activity. But I think once we get to the College World Series there, I'll be able to give out some softball here. I will say this, if you do find a futures line, I'm interested in UCLA actually to win it all. They're probably 5th or 6th in the odds, but I like the Bruins. Might be a little bit West Coast bias there. I've seen more Bruins games this season than any other team. So, all right, that's it for the morning's team. You want more plays from me here, including some of those plays where, hey, maybe I pivoted here on the show a little bit. We did have some nice winners yesterday with my sports money premiums, including Tampa Bay yesterday. We had Cincinnati there yesterday for some premiums. So check me out. We had Seattle, San Diego under. We had the Angels and the Dodgers over. So not only on the show, but I thought we did pretty well with the premiums. So check me out over at winnable.com. Hey, for just $19.95 a month, and then you use that promo code STEAM, it takes it down to, I don't know what it is, like $17, $16.68 or something like that. And that's just 56 cents a day. I think my math is right. Maybe it's 53 cents. I don't even know what it is. But do you think this show is worth 50 cents a day to you? Then why not subscribe and get a few plays in there as well? It's a hustle for me for sure, but look, it's not about the money, right? I mean, that's how we're able to deal these plays out there at such minimal cost. It's more just, hey, maybe pay for my labor. I research it, handicap it, type in the plays, and send them out to you on winnable.com. And we've got well over 200 subscribers on the free picks, and we've got a couple dozen of you on those paid picks, 50 cents a day. I'm getting rich off that couple, 2 or 3 dozen subscribers at 50 cents a day. Man, I'll probably have to quit this show to count all my money. Anyways, it's not about that. It's just a kind of keeping track who would be really interested in supporting me here on the channel on the Sports Money Network. So just thought that's a cute way to go about it and let you know it's not a big deal here. I'm just looking to pay for my pizza there, if you know what I mean. This show is what motivates me in the morning every day. Go to winnable.com/Ramon and use that promo code STEAM on any of the packages here. I better get off the air here. All right, everyone, thanks a lot. I'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. We'll get ready for our sports betting week. This week, one note, I know Mikey will mention, I want to mention it here because this is my last show on the air for the weekend. See what I did there. But want to let everybody know here right now, Mikey's going to take the day off there tomorrow. Here tomorrow, right? Wait, or is it? Oh, I want to be right. I don't know. Maybe he was talking about Memorial Day. I think it's this week. I do think it's tomorrow. I think Mikey did ask for a day off here. I don't want to be wrong on that because next week's Memorial Day. I know that, but I thought he told me that he was taking this Monday off. Please just check what he puts up there in the YouTube if the thumbnail's up there. But I better just leave it at that right now. All right, that's going to do it for the morning's team. We'll see you tomorrow here. I'll be here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on the Sports Money Network. So long.
That's gonna cash. then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.